A Russian cyber group has infiltrated several water utility systems inside the United States. This is big news, friends, and a hydroelectric dam in France, as well as some issues over in Poland as well. This is big, big news. Not only did we have a fire at a major artillery plant here in the United States, but also a UK plant also had an accident. And over in Germany, they arrested 2 Russian citizens who were attempting to sabotage industrial military facilities. Any guesses of what they might have been going after? That's right, friends. That just proves sabotage is all but confirmed. As we've talked on this channel, as we've seen refinery fires and refinery issues, I've talked about this on this channel that they were very likely sabotage issues. And small businesses are now refusing to do business with New York due to theft and crimes not being prosecuted. That and a whole bunch of other updates and reports coming from you guys. Let's jump right into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you're sending in from all over the world as well as all over the United States on what you're seeing on your store shelves, mixed in with a little healthy dose of news that won't be reported on the mainstream media. If you have an update that you want to send in, please do use the word update in your comment. Any comment on this channel, any one of the videos on this channel, will get it to the right place, even if it's an old video, just the way the system works. And give us some sort of geographical location if you can. Before we jump in, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. If you have retirement accounts, stocks and bonds can get kind of risky these days, can't they? We've been seeing a downturn in stocks, and it might be a good time to pivot over into something safer like precious metals, physical metals. You get your retirement and you put it into purchasing precious metals. They do have to stay at a vault because it's a retirement account, right? If you take distribution, tax implications and all that, which may be a thing to do. But if you want someone to hold on to that for you, when you take a distribution, you don't get cash, you don't get dollars, you get your physical metals that you purchased, right? You get them from the bank. And that's a big difference. If you want to find out more about that and how that works, Jonathan and his team would love to answer your questions and see if it's a right fit for you. They do not pressure you guys. I have not seen complaints from you guys about that. I am super happy about how happy you guys have been with their with how they help you guys. So there'll be a link at the end of the video. So Russian cyber group has infiltrated the digital systems of a hydroelectric dam in France. Now, does that sound terrifying to you? If it doesn't, it's because you don't live in France, right? Hydroelectric dam being compromised by foreign agents who were effectively at war with controlling your dam. That's a problem. And not only France over there, but in the United States and Poland, water utilities being compromised. They claimed to tamper with industrial control settings. Does that sound at least a little bit terrifying to you? What happens if you take a sip of water and the chemicals are a little out of balance? Enough to you and whoever drinks it. How often do you test your water before you drink it? Or do you just stick that cup under the faucet? Or do you just fill up a pan with that water and you just start cooking with it without even thinking about it? What happens if it has toxic stuff in it? How would you know? You're depending on a cell phone warning from your water company. What if they don't know? What happens if their test systems are hacked in such a way that they can't detect what's going on in their water system? They think it's good and it's not. Friends, we are highly dependent and we are highly trusting of systems that are potentially coming under attack right now. That would be that would be a dangerous escalation. Is it a sabotage attempt? The apparent victims include multiple U.S. water utilities, a Polish wastewater treatment plant, and a French hydroelectric plant. The actual disruption effects aren't clear. In some cases, it led to water tank overflows. the aimed political effect of these cyber operations is evident. Concerning, friends, the shadow war between the United States and Russia is entering a new phase, and you and I are entering into the crossfire. We are becoming legitimate military targets, according to the Russians, because of the activities of our government over there. Think about that. You might want to get more prepared because things are about to get ugly. Speaking of sabotage, Scranton, Pennsylvania. We reported on that before. Scranton, Pennsylvania, USA. Artillery plant fire. About 1/3 of U.S. 155 millimeter shells are produced at this one factory in Scranton, Pennsylvania. They had a fire. Nobody wants to talk about it. Okay, so that happened. Maybe it's an accident, maybe it's not, right? Well then, just a couple days later, a UK artillery plant had an explosion in Monmouthshire, South Wales. BAE Systems. This is their one artillery manufacturing plant. This is the one plant which makes artillery shells for the UK. They have an explosion 2 days after a fire in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And just in case that's like, well, maybe it's still just kind of a coincidence. You and I are too adult to know, to believe in coincidences anymore, right? Germany. They caught 2 Russian nationals plotting to bomb industrial and military sites in order to cut the supply chain to Ukraine. It's becoming Russia versus the world in a race to produce artillery shells, and Russia is clearly winning. For every 2,000 artillery shells that Ukraine fires per day, Russia is firing 10,000 per day. Ukraine is being supplied by Korea, Japan, United States, European Union, all those countries in the European Union, Canada, and others are funneling their artillery shells that they are manufacturing into Ukraine, and that amounts to 2,000 shells per day. Russia is firing 10,000 shells per day. That's not supposed to be possible. How can Russia outproduce the entire world, essentially, in artillery? Because they are actually trying. The United States, of course, is trying to figure out which bathroom to use, and that's the major concern, and how to be entertained here in the United States and give free handouts to everybody. Countries that are taking this seriously, like China and Russia, are going to beat us to a bloody pulp. And I keep saying that. World War III is not going to go well for us. Why? Because these other countries are taking it seriously and we're not. We can't even build Navy ships without them breaking down in the high seas. I mean, just look at the UK's new aircraft carriers. They're a joke. They can't leave port. They keep breaking down. They can't even drive anywhere. Meanwhile, China is cranking out civilian ships and warships that actually function. They produce cargo ships by the hundreds per year. They're cranking out warships by the dozen per year. And the United States are trickling out a couple warships a year. That is going to go very badly for us. We don't have the experience in shipbuilding. We don't have the experience in aircraft manufacture. We're losing the competitive edge. But I digress. TX says medication shortage in the UK, antibiotics and epilepsy drugs, which are all manufactured in China. Yeah, funny how that is. Everything's made there now. What happens when the people who have the paper money go to fight against the people who make all of the things? Yeah, that's not going to go well. Embroidery Girl says, I've seen a lot of comments of people saying their Walmart doesn't carry Keystone products. Keystone meats, right? I kept looking at ours in the next town and never saw it. I was in the next city over, Huntsville, Alabama, which is a larger city, and found them there. That one also had a larger Hispanic aisle with a lot more options. The beans are cheaper from the Hispanic aisle and have fewer additives. So friends, if you have the option, you might want to check out Hispanic options out there. It might have less chemicals in them and more beans in a can. We're hearing from you guys talking about how canned beans that you're getting now are much more watered down, less beans, more water. Comical Homestead says, went to Sam's Club yesterday. We take our insulated bags for hot and cold stuff, so you put all your stuff in there so it keeps it nice and cold, right? We were told at the checkout that because of artificial intelligence, they will not allow bags of any kind, nor will they be offering boxes anymore to put your items in. They want to be able to scan your buggy as you leave the store with artificial intelligence. North Florida checking in. If that just isn't a little bit horrifying, I don't know what is. Well, luckily artificial intelligence is still not great intelligence if they can't handle boxes in your cart, right? But that's where we're headed, friends. We're going to be surveilled at our stores. Every move that you make in the stores are going to be potential where the AI is going to be like, that person's stealing. And how are you going to appeal that? You're going to get to the front of the store and they're going to be like, prove that you didn't steal. If that sounds un-American to you, where you have to prove your innocence, welcome to the club. That's exactly where we're headed, where computers are going to accuse you and you will then have to prove your innocence. You might want to start keeping your receipts, friends. Janessa says, United Healthcare is scared. That's where the Change Healthcare is underneath them, where they got hacked a second time, and it is destroying their business. They lost $1.6 billion the first go-around, and now they're hacked again. After paying a $22 million ransom, they got hacked again, and their systems are back down again, and it is impacting their business. So they're scared, laying off by the hundreds. I know, I work for them. Virginia, no distilled water in Safeway in eastern Oregon. We're seeing issues with distilled water spottily here and there. And of course, distilled water is necessary for people's CPAP machines and other medical uses. And it is, you can't replace it with anything else, right? Salty Stone says, I usually don't pay attention to empty shelves unless I am looking for something. At Walmart today, there was no hamburger in a roll. There was one 10-pound, which I took, and a few small packages. No unsalted butter, at least of the Great Value brand, but I noticed a lot of empty shelves, like in cereal, and the freezer case. I just can't wait to get out of there. Walmart, right? So I don't take notes. I was there at 9 a.m. Thank you for your report. Ramshackle Farm says, in Southwest Michigan, my friend was going to get two starter steer calves for a fair for her kid, but could barely afford one at $800. That is a lot more expensive than what they normally are, friends. So the calf is only 3 months old, so I'm going to breed my goats again and cut back on the cow we butchered in November until I can find a decent priced calf at an auction. I will not pay that price for a calf. We're warning you that prices on beef cattle are going up. Calves are going up price-wise, and heifers, the cows basically that can give birth to calves are going up in price. Prices of everything are going up. And a lot of farmers and a lot of people are getting out of the beef industry right now because prices are high and feed price is high. And a lot of people are getting kicked off of government land that they were using for grazing before. The war on beef is real, friends. You might want to be getting stocked up. Mom says, my husband just got a letter from his union, CFL or CIO, that the pension plan is in the red. Not much we can do about it because it is stuck invested in it. I forewarned him many years ago that it is not good. A lot of these pension plans for public workers and some corporations and stuff has been dramatically mismanaged, and these pension plans are imploding because they got into the wrong investments. They used it as a piggy bank where they could skim money off by investing in things that they get kickbacks on, and that's where we are. A software engineer says, today I added this verbiage to our Texas business sales page. Important. Due to the government-sponsored high crime in New York, we do not work for clients in New York anymore. We also don't take fixed-rate projects any longer due to the high theft rate of these type of contracts. Pretty sad when the thieves go digital. I lost nearly $5,000 from a New York thief recently. Anyone holding their breath to see that prosecuted? Probably not. All right, friends, if you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there to get your questions answered. They love to answer those and get you educated on whatever you need. If you want to check out another video from the channel, there's one right up here. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.